Boys and Girls Club. It's changed.
I don't know. But it doesn't matter.
I think she gave it.
The amendment?
Well, you might do this.
It's doing that. Yeah. It's good. It's good.
I guess I'm lost.
Resolution.
It's basically the same thing we went to, except there's no program, it's just networking. It's entertainment,
On drive. Just,
just a network.
yeah.
Just stay over. Just stay over.
Yeah.
Right.
I did. Vegetables, they're real good.
Some nice people.
Talk to her lady, I think she's one of the officers. Getting to know one
They know everybody.
What else? Montgomery,
I mean,
oh, Chester.
yeah.
Sure. Okay.
You have any extra summaries?
Change me summaries. I have an extra.
I don't think it was included in the first packet.
Ready? Lit up
This
anyway.
does not have the 4 items on it that you had it today.
Did not have.
It does not.
It's okay.
He did this. I'm not sure. Does not have the 4 new items.
Oh, this got for them.
No, ma'am.
I have that. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Calisthenics and getting them in. Ready? We'll call the May 13th, 2025 city council meeting to order. Remind everybody to silence your cell phones. We're going to start with an opening prayer by Mr. Chester Dims, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Dims.
So thank you for this day. Thank you for this meeting that helps make good decisions that be to the advantage of the city. Thank you now. God, in Jesus' name, pray.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. Ms. Amy, if you would. Roll call.
I'll
Or-
open the floor.
Okay.
Councilmember Grimes. Councilmember Hampton. Councilmember Woodball. Vice Mayor Landry.
Here.
Mayor Ketchum.
Here. Item number 3, approval of items on the consent agenda. Approval to read by title only, ordinances 1050 and 1051. And approval to read by title only, resolution 2025-07, 2025-08, and 2025-09.
Motion.
Councilmember Grimes.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Ditchum.
Yes. Receiving requests from the general public. Do we have anybody from the general public who would like to speak on anything that is not on the agenda? Hearing and seeing no one, we'll move on to bids and RFQs. And it looks like we don't have any bids or RFQs at this time. For general business, of agenda item 6A. Council to discuss task order for wastewater improvement design, and council will take any action deemed necessary.
Read it this morning because we need to jump on it. Part of it is with the RIF. I'll just let the mayor explain how we did the combining the RIF match with the SRF match.
Thank you, John. So I don't know if you remember, we went at the holiday, we went after some FTP grants, and we did our facilities plan. So part of the facilities plan, we took out a portion of the project. And one of the part was the water pump station. So we approved our facilities plan, and then they gave us money for engineering. We used that engineering money to leverage RIF to get grant from RIF to the water pump station. So these two are tied. One will be design of the pump station, and there are some other I&I work that needs to be done, and there are 4 or 3 lift states that need to be upgraded. So we took some grant funds from SRF and used as a match to do the RIF, which is for construction. So that's why we tied it together. The one for the wastewater treatment plant do have, or wastewater improvement do have other portions that needs to be designed. Once those are designed, we can go after funding for construction. So the 2 components are design for the one lift station, design for the rest of it, and then construction for the water pump station.
But it's time to be 80% grant,
Design, design is 80% grant.
and the RIF will be 100% grant.
What's our status of what we had going with the previous engineer and what we've got now? What we've got overlapping, either they owe us or we owe them.
Mount McDonald's still doing the CDBG grant. I mean, the first RIF grant we got, which was the water main. They're still working on it, and they're doing the stormwater landscape. They're doing the third, if it's on this, they're doing the third RIF we got, which is the water lift station replacement. So we're still working with Mount McDonald on 2 projects.
The lift station and this.
They'll be working on the water lift station and the design. The design was that, remember the 94 million project had 11 different phases? If I'm not mistaken, this is the design and engineering for phase 1.
Phase 1, yeah.
Yeah, which had 6 total projects in
So
it.
the design of this is $864,000. And did you negotiate any?
That was what was written up in the,
You can't negotiate. You've agreed to pay for these services based on the standard engineering curve. Whatever it is, whatever the cost of the project. If you got a $500,000 project, you're gonna pay them a certain percentage of that. And if that project turns out to be 100,000, you still pay them the same blessing. There's no negotiation, no nothing. What they're gonna find is a gold mine here. This has already been done. All this Pimple Creek, all been done. It's either been in situ form or slip line. when you get through with this, when you get through with it, you're not gonna have accomplished a thing unless you seal those manhole covers. If the manhole covers, you wasted our time and somebody's money.
No, you're exactly right. That's what the slip lining, the Pimple Creek, what happened is your treatment, this is the first phase of it. And then we have to bid out the 90, the original part of the city also, but this is not one, there's many projects in there. Also, the fee actually is, DEP is based on an allowance DEP allow is for a size of the project. And whatever you use is you use, if you don't use it, it goes back.
Well, what is your concern, Bill?
The manhole covers that leaking,
My
they're
concern
pushing out of the
is it's
manhole.
already been done.
In the works.
By Smith and Gillespie, absolutely, all of it.
Well, but if
All
they,
of this collection system has been done.
but if they didn't do it right,
I don't know how you slip line or insujform wrong.
Where are we getting the 2 million in I&I?
But
Get 2 million extra inflow during heavy rain events.
that's exactly right, and it's coming from the manhole covers.
Sure, that's part of it.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, it's actually, the Pimple Creek repair is a portion of it. There's 3 lift stations that's part of this also, including the water lift station. So it's not, we're gonna look at, that section is one small portion of the overall project. So once you look at it, you can decide the manhole, as you said, and we will inspect all those lines. And you have to, at that time, if the manholes and manhole cover, whatever is outcome of that investigation, that's one portion of it. Then we'll ask DEP to give us funding to do the construction of it. If they're good as, if somebody has already lined it.
This 864 has no, construction.
No, this is that, and then you have 3 or more lift stations that goes with.
My concern is you got nothing to do except approve it.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. They got good lobbyists.
Engineers. Talk about the,
That's why that bottom paragraph is there. You're agreeing to something you've never seen.
the other SRF funding should be coming.
Sure, yeah, so there is 3 or 4, this is all comes tied together, so the report we did, we're gonna meet with, DEP, in 1 to 2 weeks, depending on what their availability is, and we're gonna actually request the funding, the next phases of those. We're gonna start requesting some funds out of those, so those are already, the meeting is set. And there will be a lot of construction funds that's coming in. The state has, right now allocated for the hurricane, there's 2 hurricanes, Milton and Helene. Both, they have allocated $1.6 billion for what, in the communities affected by it. Because you are a small community, it's 100%.
okay, so 864 is just for engineering,
That's for engineering.
Okay.
For
And so-
several of those projects, not one.
for those 4.
Yes.
And then you're going back, you're gonna go inspect it and find out what else needs to be done. And then you're going back for more money. Is that where,
For construction.
yeah, money for construction?
Yeah.
Okay,
So we're somebody. This is one of those things governor would love to get a hold of and get it to send in, whatever you call that. But we're paying 864, somebody's paying 864. And then there's gonna be another 864 plus.
We've already estimated that it's gonna be what, 8 million or something?
8 to 10 million, yeah, the pump station, Warner lift station by itself is 2 million.
Grant, yeah, 1.30 something.
You already got the grant for that, you pay those. Yeah. So the Warner lift station grant is already there, so that's just to get that done.
Any idea when you might be able to start on the lift station on one?
That's what we're gonna start tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because RIF is on, the city has, the RIF people are calling for every month meeting, we have to get it done.
It's supposed to be every quarter. They change it every month because we're behind on the Warner lift station. And we're just learning about the other two. So they're being nice, but they're not happy with us.
Let's make them happy.
Anybody care to make a motion?
Motion.
Let's go.
Councilmember Ryan,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Tetron.
Yes. Agenda item 6B, council to discuss task order for Warner lift station replacement and council to take any action deemed necessary.
It's the same.
Pretty-
part.
pretty much already talked about it.
Construction.
Yeah.
So the construction you already have, but it's going to.
Need another motion.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Ryan,
No.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Tetron.
Yes.
Just agreed to an unknown number. How much is this cost? Give it right here.
We also agreed for them to
Warner.
help us find the funds,
Do what?
that they would help us find the funds to do all of this.
But
Didn't you say,
you agree, the engineer, owner shall pay the engineer for service rendered as follows, it is blank. How much is that?
We're under a continuing contract with them, whatever. Is a continuing contract.
It's actually the RIF part of the grant is, already there. If there is no number in it, that's my mistake. There should be a number in there. I think it's part, the grant has a number, I think it's 200 something thousand.
I'm just not gonna vote for something that I don't know what it costs.
do we know what the number is
Yeah, I think you got what,
1.37 or 8.
Yeah,
for the whole thing?
yeah, you already have,
For the construction?
You have what?
you already got the construction money for, at the 100% grant on the project.
We have the money approved.
Talking about engineering money.
It's in there.
How much is
I'm
it?
looking at it, and it's blank.
How much is it?
It's because it's only the, so the engineering was 860, part of 864. Then this is the inspection once every.
It may be in something, some document, it may be, but it's not in the document I was given to approve.
No, I'm.
Do not approve, not approve of something, I don't know how much it costs.
John, this is what we need to add, have everything that we need.
I got these today.
Okay.
I'm tired of getting yelled at by Florida homeowners because we waited around 2 months to hire engineers. We waited around 2 weeks to look over the contract. We're wasting time.
John, the task order, they should, we made a mistake, I can give you the number. Not an issue. Okay. Yeah, it's on page, the amount, go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, page 5, you have in there.
What is the number?
The amount is 5,000 for bidding and inspection is 225. 230.
3.5.
So no, 230,000 dollars.
Okay.
That's for the inspection, that is an allowance by RIF already gave you 1.8, 1.7 and 1.6 million for the construction. So that's part of it.
I don't know what this is going to see. I'm just a guess.
3 months.
Okay.
I'm trying to find.
I got two.
I don't know
Where
which
is-
one.
Where is that? We don't
I
have,
printed all of it.
we don't have what you have.
Well, anyway, we know the numbers now, so
It's insane.
It's not your responsibility to get to this council what we need.
Okay,
I had a copy of it.
I'm saying, it's not yours. It falls over here at this table.
I would have waited until the next meeting, but I want to get this moving. We've already been waiting long enough on it.
if we wait too long, they're probably gonna say, forget it.
I didn't need this, just.
I've seen it happen.
I got it this morning.
Just it.
Anyway. Agenda item 6C, public hearing and final reading of ordinances or ordinance to amend the Perry Municipal Police Officers Retirement Trust Fund. The council will take any action deemed necessary. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida, further amending the city of Perry Municipal Police Officers Retirement Trust Fund, restated by ordinance number 881, as subsequently amended, amending section 5 contributions, amending section 6 benefit amounts and eligibility, amending section 8 disability, amending section 9 vesting, amending section 28 deferred retirement option plan or drop, amending section 29 reemployment after retirement, providing for codification, providing for severability of provisions, repealing ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for authority and manner of adoption, and providing an effective date. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Good.
How are you?
Pretty happy to hear and we're with the police pension board. Do you guys have any further questions from what was read at the last meeting?
I don't. Anybody? Dan?
Unless they.
Does anyone in attendance have any questions or comments on the ordinance? I guess nobody needs to know anything else about it.
Nothing's changed since last meeting, same numbers.
And for I appreciate it, we have a motion. We have a second?
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Hanson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Catherine.
Yes, thank y'all.
Thank you guys.
Agenda item 6D, first reading. of Ordinance to add dental amalgam to wastewater. Council will take any action deemed necessary. Apologize, I missed one. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida, amending sewers and sewage disposal of the city to include dental amalgam regulations, appealing our ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date. Only question I have personally is, it says it got to do with the mercury or just the metal fillings? I don't know, I'm asking. I saw mercury pop up several times and I had to Google it because I didn't know what it was.
Dental amalgam, they don't use it anymore in Perry, but they do remove it. Like when they're fixing an old, tooth. It's had mercury or, it's mercury, silver, copper, it's toxic metals. And I spoke to the dentist office today here in Perry. And the state is already regulating them and inspecting them. I think DEP has just wanted us to have this in our ordinance. They already have a company come by and inspect the traps, replace the traps. So after finding that out, I'm a little confused as to why DEP wants to drag the city in it. I'm gonna find that out, but they already take the necessary precautions to keep the dental amalgam out of the wastewater.
Right.
DEP was expecting us to put this language in order, right?
Yeah.
So it's something that came out of the DEP. They wrote the whole thing, we just changed the section numbers and whatnot.
Anybody else have any questions about it? That's the only question I had. I wasn't sure.
Well, this is the first reading, so
It
you're
is.
gonna check on it and get back to us.
You know, we'll take what he's got, send it to DEP, because they may approve it, or they may want to change, they may want something added.
They wrote the thing.
Well, they give, basically a template, but, you know, just my experience with DEP, it could happen.
The only concern I had was that if it's no longer in practice, why do we need this?
Well, they don't use it to fill a cavity, but if there's an old filling that's bad, and they pull out the amalgam, it has to be captured. They use a porcelain filler. But if someone got a tooth fixed 10, 15 years ago and they removed it, it has to be captured. That's the reasoning.
So you
Very
send it
good.
to us,
First
let us
reading.
know.
Any other discussion on the board or the public? Well, this first reading is gonna be here again next meeting, so that's when we'll actually vote on it. Very good. Agenda item 6C, city managers evaluation. Council will take any action deemed necessary.
That was done, yeah.
Three.
What did you say?
Said I haven't done it yet.
Oh,
Got it
you haven't done
yesterday.
it? Okay.
We can circle back around. We can circle back around next meeting or something. We can tell you
I
what,
went to start this morning, I lost power.
don't tell me another garbage truck. I hope not. No, that's a sore subject. He had his power ripped out by one of those, what was it, one of those limb trucks? Yeah,
What we received, it would be a good evaluation.
Might get my jacket right on.
we can just table this to the next meeting. We'll circle back around the next meeting about it. All right. Agenda item 6F, resolution 2025-07, budget amendment, D&G Club Kitchen expansion. A resolution of the city council amending the budget of the city of Perry, Florida for the fiscal year October 1, 2024 through September 30th, 2025.
I laid updated one with y'all's podium, cause I added where it says it's for natural gas and for parks fund. The numbers didn't change or anything, I just missed putting in the gas fund in the original resolution that I sent out. But this is for what we had discussed a while back, and I just need to put it formally on paper for our budget.
Motion.
Councilmember Bruns. Councilmember Hanson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Petrie.
Yes. Agenda item 6G. Resolution 2025-08 declaring National Police Week.
Motion to approve.
So,
Councilmember Bruns.
Yes.
Councilmember Hanson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
yes.
Mayor Petrie.
Yes. Agenda item 6H. And I gotta admit, I looked this up this morning. Emily was doing something and she was telling me it was National Police Week, and I looked up just for the sake of it, National Firefighters. Found out it was last weekend. So we let that one get past us because I didn't know. But now I do know.
I'll forgive you this time.
I appreciate it. I figured better late than never. We're not too late, but hey. Anyway. Agenda item 6H, resolution 2025-09, declaring National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Weekend, which was the weekend before last.
So moved.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes, thank you. Agenda item 6I, council to appoint 2 members to the DMH board and council to take any action deemed necessary. Yeah, I'm just a mess today.
Reached out to John this week. By our board bylaws, we have 2 city appointees on our board of directors. One of them, Nelda Parker Pace, is eligible for another term and would like to be reappointed. And then Deborah McGrew was the other city representative, and she has termed out. So I don't know what your historical process has been. The county usually puts an ad in the paper for a couple of weeks, see who applies. And then our board chair would look at them over with you, and you all could appoint somebody else. But I don't know if you want to follow that same process, but.
I'll just volunteer.
Works.
I did that, I was seeking her red.
I'm glad there's firefighters in the room. I mean, you can help. I'm just kidding. So, I guess there's 2 things, having Nelda reappointed.
I do that right now.
If y'all are willing to, we'd like to have her remain on the board.
Thursday, reappointed.
Second.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yeah.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes,
Yes, advertise for the opening. I can get you language for that, John. Make sure there's no conflicts with whoever applies, and y'all can appoint whoever is interested.
no conflicts. That's gonna be hard to find in this town.
Well, that relatives, that's.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
We have a great board. Bill can attest to that. So there are some folks out there that want to help us. It's a volunteer board position.
Very good.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, agenda item 6J, council to discuss memorandum of understanding between Perry Police Department and the Monticello Police Department and council to take any action deemed necessary.
It seems like I'm bringing a lot of MOUs before you for cooperation with other agencies. We've had one in the past with Monticello, with the emergence of violence at some of these festivals and parades. We're starting to collect people who want to help us, and we've in turn are expected to help them. So we're trying to increase presence of any of our festivals and parades, and are asking for the same thing. And this MOU would allow us to do this with Monticello.
Motion.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6K, council to approve Kaylin Tyler's appointment as the 5th member seat on the Perry Pension Board of Trustees. Take any action deemed necessary.
Motion. To approve.
Have a second?
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6L, council to appoint 1 citizen to serve on the Perry Police Pension Board of Trustees. Take any action deemed necessary.
Daniel Everett has voiced interest in this. We've talked to him, a member of the police department has, and he's agreed to it. So I'd like to consider his appointment.
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6M, council to appoint 1 citizen, serve on the Perry Fire Pension Board of Trustees and take any actions deemed necessary.
I have talked to Emily Ketchum and she had agreed to sit on the board as long as y'all approve to. There's no conflicts.
Okay.
Cause we're the ones that are responsible. If this goes broke, we gotta come up with the money. I think it's a conflict.
According to the pension board fund lawyer, there's no conflict with her sitting there, but he did say that we needed to, make sure the city attorney didn't have any conflicts with it.
It's my first hearing.
I think it's a big conflict. Myself,
What kind of conflict?
I just say it, told you. If that fund goes broke, it falls back to this council. And this council may decide to sue that board.
I think it is a conflict. I mean, there are conflicts that can be waived, but that would be up to the council if they feel like the liability is high. But I do believe that's a conflict. And I know in the past, there have been not as big of a deal situations that there has been waiver where the mayor felt comfortable, but I do believe that would be. And I don't understand exactly what the board does with the pension. It's my first time hearing it, but it does present a conflict.
Well, I have to look at somebody else, keep going then. I mean, I don't have anybody else in mind, with somebody else, we got somebody. We've been looking for, what, 3 months? 3 months, 3 months, something like
That's the
that.
question, would it be a conflict if I served on their board? I'm a city resident, I'd be eligible based off of that, as long as there's no conflict with me serving on their boards.
This is for the fire department.
Yes,
Yes.
So again, this is first I'm hearing of it. I don't believe there would be. I don't see something clearly.
I would offer if they would have me, I'd offer my services to them, it's up to the council. If you need to have somebody now, if you got time, then I'll wait, you have to wait.
I mean, that's up to the council. I mean, we have to have you approved through the actual pension board to sit on it, but
When's your next meeting?
August the 7th.
Well, we got time.
Have we advertised for this?
I'm here lately.
But take my name to the board, and keep looking, and if you find somebody else, that's fine, but if you need to fill a seat and it's not a conflict, I'd be. Based on my role as a city resident.
Add it to our advertisement for the city bank.
I would do that.
That'll work. So we're gonna table this. We'll just keep it on the agenda for now. All right. Agenda item 6N. Approval of minutes from the April 8th, 2025 regular session.
Second, sorry, just 22nd.
Okay, we're gonna change that to approval of minutes from the April 22nd, 2025 regular session. Are any amendments or anything that needs to be made before we approve it? Now, do we have a motion?
Motion.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Finchin.
Yes, see, may I have John?
How banners I like. So I like most, you can see it.
Yeah.
This. That one, and then that one is a throwback to Rosehead.
I wondered about that. I'm glad you clarified.
Down.
That would only mean something to some of us.
Yeah.
And mean nothing to anybody else.
You talking about Rosehead from the Roses? Those of us that were born in 1850 would understand it. Those of us that were here in 1850 would understand it. whenever it was Rosie.
They'll stop you on the street and ask you why you put Rosie on your back. Tell 'em.
Cause we're taking over as the Rose City.
That's it.
No, personally, I was hooked on the old ones. No,
Similar to that one.
I like number one.
Good order.
That's all. Bill, you okay with number one? What you,
I'm good with it.
go with it.
Looks good. I agree, we kind of see the others, but that one pops, it's the first one.
That's it.
Okay,
What's the cost?
We're gonna get reimbursed. I think so.
Oh,
they gonna do the little poles and everything, or
I believe so.
the holder? I don't know,
Everything that was damaged.
very good. Anything else, John? Hope, do you have anything?
Okay, just a couple of things. I'm almost maybe want to hold up on one, but I would like to get the council's insight. But on good news, none of it's bad. Is that the Sailor Manning situation? The fence is up. I know I'd asked you all to give them an extension of a month. The fence around their home, it's up with no trespassing signs. They're asking again for there to be something done in code enforcement regarding munchies. I know there's been a lot of activity at that convenience store. From visual anecdotal evidence, it does seem like there's less activity, maybe because of a number of things, including the recent shooting at that store. But again, they have completed payment, fence, everything that was a part of the agreement. So we're just finishing and coming up with the deed language to be able to present them full ownership of that parcel. So I think that's a good thing. I'm glad that that ended up being a good result and that they followed through with their portion. There is another matter, and I guess in the last few weeks, it's been like a contract situation where we've had a lot of contracts review. This is there's one other thing though, I was hoping that maybe there could be a brief discussion on, because I know that we have in the past been trying to be responsive to people interested in purchasing surplus land. You know, just finished the agreement for even the lease of surplus land. This is not a surplus land situation, but apparently a buyer of a foreclosed property has bought up in a particular neighborhood. I think the address is like 200 Davis Drive, and whoever owned the property actually put on an unpaved city street a small building, but it's like brick and mortar. I'm sorry.
It's big. It's like, the first part of it is 16 by 24, the second part of it is 20.
So,
So it's not.
yeah, well, in my head, I was thinking like the type of extra building I would have on a piece of property if I was an owner. And it was done improperly. And they're trying, I guess, to connect some of the tracts of land. And when they found out that particular structure, significant structure, is actually on property that they didn't own. And it was not like, it wasn't a situation where it was like misplotted or surveyed. They just chose to put a building there. My default response in that was that it was against the, it was that building was done by the earlier buyer of the property. And, you know, when you get things on foreclosure, or you buy one of the steps, you have to deal with property as is. I didn't realize how big the structure was, but where I saw where it was, that, you know, I would say the default would be you would need to remove it. I think their desire is to buy a bunch of those properties and sell it or do something else with it. And then they were wanting to know if it's possible for them to buy the land. And that particular road, I believe, ends in sort of like a swampy area. It's not a pasture, right? And so, you know, again, I held firm to at least what I feel that the rights are, and that if they wanted to have that further discussed, then we can have more possible options to consider. But I just thought it was a cautionary tale, because we don't necessarily want people, unlike us, you know, trying to get rid of surplus lands, for people to go against zoning laws and put things places and then try to backdoor and purchase that property. But it does go to like a swampy land. I don't believe it's a drive-through. I don't even know what the value would be, but I thought before I get into all of that, I wanted to have the council maybe express an opinion.
It's further back, it's under the tree cover. It's not the part that you see there, right there. Yep, right up back in the middle, in the gap of the road, right there. It's right there under that tree cover. This other is a shed and a lean-to that is owned by Mr. Thomas at 200 Davis. There's two different structures there.
It looks like it was designed to go into a future neighborhood that never came about. That's what it looks like to me, which is pretty common.
You can see it. Right there.
It's a road to nothing.
The building is on the road, the street,
Retention area.
Right, yeah.
It's
retention. pond.
That's owned by the shopping mall. Or where Wendy's is.
Is this something, if you could research, and you and the city, I mean, John, everybody get together and kind of research and get back to us on it?
Do that, just wanted to make you all aware, just because I know they've been.
Just make sure that you,
To hear whatever feedback you did have.
just mainly, is there any utilities or anything in there that we're going, anything we need to, any reason why we need to keep it?
Okay.
That's all we got to answer. I think more than anything, isn't it? Or in my opinion, it is anyway.
What's on the other side?
It's a swamp. Separate retention pond behind the shopping center.
That's the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center.
Yeah, I'm calling it a swamp, but it's a retention pond.
Looks like a swamp.
It's like a swamp. That's a swamp.
Swampy retention pond.
They work.
We chase people into that. It's a swamp. I think there's a few alligators back there. There is.
There has been a recent survey done and it is 100% city property.
100% what?
City owned, city property.
City owned property.
That's
How
no
much of
surprise.
it is city owned?
That.
Inside the
Sheffield
green?
Street
That
is
road.
60 foot wide. All the way back that property. That whole little piece is a road, it's a street. It's unpaved, it's a street.
One of those unique situations.
They're making their profitable hard rock.
That's why I did want
They
to.
buy it as is. They need to accept
But
it.
deal with it as is.
Yes.
That was my holding, but again, I know there's been, and I didn't want to mistake that as to surplus property or create something where like, but I took it as Councilmember Brian said, is that they're making their problem our problem. But
You know, that happens pretty often with us.
well, that's true. That is true. And maybe I would have probably felt more sympathetic if it wasn't like these big purchasers who are getting land and they get it as it is. And then they want us to cure what's wrong with it versus do the research and just tear it down. I mean, or do whatever they need to do to make it right. But I definitely want to hear feedback. I thought there was no necessarily right or wrong answer, except that they are wrongly placed there. But it's not before
And
zoning.
they did
or
it
anything like
deliberately,
that.
so,
I'm sorry.
and they did it deliberately.
Well,
Probably had read it before, did it deliberately.
the people who had it before, because these.
That's
were
what I
just-
mean.
Yes, yes, Your Honor. Because yes, Your Honor, yes. So you don't
Well,
It didn't.
Because they couldn't.
All right, what can you get? You wanna do some more research into it and see what you can come up with as far as
Thank you for your feedback, though.
whether or not we could do anything to help them out or not, I don't know, I'm just.
The last one that came. We told, no,
mhm.
What I'm saying is look at it and see, we can look at anything. Don't even have to go along with it.
I will say, I checked with the property appraiser's office and the tax collector's office. The property owners of 200 Davis Drive have been paying the taxes on the structure only. They have not paid property taxes, of course, on our property,
Right,
but they have been paying property taxes on the actual structure, the accessory structure that's there.
gotcha.
But I could definitely look into it and give you all more information. I just didn't want to presume that that may be something that the council want to review or not review. Because my default was that we don't want to start a precedent where people have unzoned, illegally structured things and then come and try to buy it versus just buy surplus. But I can bring more information.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Carly,
We're now live completely in our new financial system.
good deal.
We're on transition. But we're getting there slowly.
Have the bills gone out yet?
Yes, they did go out. They went out last week. They were late.
I haven't got them yet.
Well,
And
the people that we send them to,
Yeah.
we didn't send them to like Wednesday and then they have like a 2 to 3 day turnaround.
so we now, our process now is we send a file and then a third party mails them out. We're going to be encouraging as many people as possible to go to e-bills. Because
It
you have your
worked.
bill now.
It worked, we're like a charm.
I didn't want to put a whole bunch of people on e-bills the first time because we did have a little bit of a glitch of it sending out, but now they seem to think it's fixed because everyone that was on e-bills got their bill, as far as I'm aware. But we now send the file to somebody, they mail it. And we don't have any control over how quick the post office gets it there, but it did go out late. We extended the deadline and we're not charging penalties this month, so.
Where does the mail from, Carly, do you know, generally? Yeah, I
I
don't
wanna
know.
say it's a different state, but I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
It's a company that partners with our software.
Gotcha.
But it's not postcards.
No.
Right,
it's
that's
bullshit
actual
bill.
letters.
We had not only had issues with the post office, but they had issues with our postcards.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's because they send it, when we were mailing it ourselves, they send it all the way to Jacksonville to then send it back to Cary. But we're gonna add onto the utility applications, like if people want to get e-bills, they can now put their email address and say that they want to get e-bills and I think a lot of people will sign up for that.
I think so too.
Yes, I'm revoking.
All right,
Good job.
thank you.
Thank you.
Jamie,
Thank you for the resolution for police week. I appreciate that. Other than that, we don't have anything.
or B, Danielle, he's not here.
Did y'all notice the clock out here? I talked to Danielle about it and asked her if we could get it painted like we painted all the light poles. And I'm telling you, it looks like a professional painted. It's got the gold trim on it and everything. It looks great.
Thank Ben Davis for that.
Thank you, Ben Davis. It
Yes, he
looks
did,
great.
he took his time. Did a good job.
Here,
I've got much too much to say, but we're gonna try to clean the parks up as much as we can and slash pad going.
hey, both of them are back up running.
Yeah, they're working.
Good deal. Thank you.
Starts breaking, but fixing as it breaks.
Good deal. Appreciate it. Shirley?
I think Chief Cruz has done a good job with ATVs. I still think we need a sign or two at a Lock Ridge.
What was that?
Stating no ATVs or off-road.
Got no vehicles beyond this point up now, and they consider it a vehicle.
I would still like to say no ATV. Some people say.
I'll get some signs that say no ATVs as well. But I mean, they're gonna follow it just the same way they do those. Vehicles beyond this point. I'll
But
put both
it
of mine.
would not be an excuse when you stop them the next time.
There's no excuse now.
I
They know
know.
they're not supposed to be there, and that is a vehicle.
How many signs you talking about?
Are they,
How many?
About 4 or 5.
are the kids allowed to ride?
Nobody's allowed to ride in the parks, period.
Okay.
Nobody.
Not a truck, not a four-wheeler, not a dirt bike, not a go-kart.
And if they thought that it was legal, they wouldn't run. Everybody runs. Everybody.
They don't run from me. It's like, they come to my house.
I can pull my,
And
just my
there's-
regular city truck out there and then they take off.
And there's so many sick people in that neighborhood.
I agree. We're doing everything we can within reason.
We appreciate it. Garbage cans. Can we go back to requiring that we take them off the right of way?
That ordinance says 7 AM, 7 PM. You have to have them out by 7 and collect them that evening by 7. Have an ordinance already that addresses that.
Okay, it addresses it.
Now, we can start addressing it through citation.
No, I think that we should make them aware again.
About
That,
education.
whatever way we want to do it.
Maybe we could put it on the water bill. Just have it somewhere in large print. I mean, larger
Can
than.
you help us, Bo? No, you're not gonna.
I got there.
Okay.
Y'all gotta make a bigger story. Somebody's a whole bunch.
We can now put messages on there so that
Well, I've been getting a lot of complaints saying that if we would do that, the city would look a whole lot better. So we can think about it anyway.
Very good.
Some. I can't remember. Thank you.
Ms. Landry?
Practical question about that. Not that they're there now. But if they were to cite, would that be like something that handled would be like a charge on their bill?
That would go before the magistrate for a violation.
Oh, okay. I was just trying to.
We don't want all of that.
We would have to look at the fine, see, it'd probably start at $25 per violation and go up like the rest of them.
Okay, I was just practically trying to.
Or it could be $250 each. I just have to look at the code and see what it says.
Maybe I just make it my own personal mission.
We can
We
help.
can ask people if they would do it.
We can help with a little education piece on that. I think with the bills and a few things that we can send out.
I appreciate it.
Ms. Landry?
How are we addressing the homeless situation?
There's not a lot that we can do with that. We tell them where they can and can't be, they move. The city doesn't have a stance of allowing them to remain in the city and camp, because if we do, under that law that's been established, we have to set up a camp for them and provide utilities.
Yeah.
So, we encourage them to find services elsewhere. Or handle it that way.
When you do that, would you mention the senior center because they have a program that they can help with that? So.
Brian?
Have we got our audit adjustments yet?
we have not, they're waiting on a report from the actuaries, the OPEB report. And then he said, once he has that, he should be able to get it together quickly for us to review. but he's thinking it's still gonna be a couple more weeks based on what the actuary said.
Have we made an estimate of, what our loss of income is gonna be next year? In water revenue, utility tax, natural gas, property taxes, and sewer, if any.
They still are currently using water out at, you're talking about GP. You're just talking about the general.
Yeah. Don't know. We'd say if in that instance, we may not lose, we may gain.
Right.
But in natural gas, we're gonna lose.
Have they already quit using natural gas or are they still?
Yeah, that ended last month.
About
We-
30 grand, but
All we did was pass along invoices and we made money from FGU, just based on an agreement. But that ended last month,
So the city was getting about 30 grand a month,
total.
10 grand. a month, like
10 grand,
3 months.
gotcha.
Can I ask a question? Back when we had the issue with Superfund, gas not being paid for, not being billed for and everything, and I asked, couldn't we have seen what they paid the year before and realized that they were not paying enough? And I was told that they don't buy gas from us. Is that still true? They still do not buy gas from
They
us?
buy gas money.
They do
buy
not.
gas.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, if they don't, somebody needs to go and talk to them.
No, they do. We bill them monthly.
Great, thank you.
What you're talking about, first thing you gotta do is look.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all very much.